Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up.
Hey guys, welcome back, or welcome to my channel, and welcome to the Olympic trials. The gates are finally opened and it's time for the families to battle it out. So are you guys ready? Little side note, it's been a while. I know it's been a while. I've kind of like disappeared off the face of the earth a little bit, bar like some reading sprints, but I'm back. Hopefully this is a sign of being back to long form content as well. She's gonna try. Life just got in the way a little bit. Life got a little bit crazy, but hopefully she's back now and we're on the road again. We hope. Stay with me, okay? Just stay with me. We've got this together. Between us, we can fight through this phase in life right now. We've got this. But yes, this is our announcement for the Olympic trials, which is being hosted from the 1st of August to the 30th of September. So a long 2 months we are going to hopefully spend together if you guys decide to come and join us. I am really looking forward to this readathon. There are so many elements to it, and you guys can take part in as much or as little of the readathon as you would like. Like, there is no boundaries. It's a good time, it's fun prompts. Hopefully, you know, it'll be a little bit of fun with reading and with our TBRs, and, you know, help us battle them and get them down a little bit. So I don't know about anybody else, but the TBR is looking a little loco, you know, it's looking a little loco. But yes, anywho, the readathon, I'm so excited. Like I said, there are so many elements to this. I do just want to do some quick shout outs. So shout out to Lexi, who this idea came from a little short suggestion that she asked me to do, like a little small tropes kind of readathon, like just something for like a week, and it spiraled into this. So shout out to Lexi for the suggestion and what got the ball rolling. And then I also have to shout out my fellow Olympians, Catherine and Hannah, who have been so kind and have been helping me with this readathon and helping me keep on track and making sure that I don't go crazy while I've been prepping and getting everything ready. And like, yeah, if anybody has any questions regarding the readathon at any time, reach out to me, Catherine or Hannah, and one of us will be able to assist you, because like I said, there is a lot. There is a lot. But yes, so shout out to those 3 wonderful ladies who have been helping me like crazy over these last months, because yeah, behind the scenes for this readathon has been a lot, so big props to them. But yes, so I have already done like a brief announcement over on socials to get the hype going, get it out there, so let people know what's coming, and hopefully people will come and join us. But yeah, today's video is announcing all the prompts, all the games, all the challenges. It's gonna be a lot, so make sure you guys are comfy, make sure you guys have got your snacks, you've got some fluids with you, and let's get going through the Olympic trials and what it is all about. So once you guys enter Mount Olympus, which is our Discord channel, which you guys will find linked below along with the graphics, everything, it will all be down there for you guys to come and join us. But once you enter, you do have the chance to pick your family. There is a section and there is a quiz up there. I believe it's a BBC quiz, where you guys can go and take it, answer a bunch of questions, and they will give you a god or goddess which becomes your parent, so it'll be either your mother or your father. Once you guys have taken that quiz, if you want to, you guys don't have to take part in this part of the readathon if you don't want to, but if you do, send us a screenshot in that channel, and you'll be added to your family's chat. There's a whole section for your family to talk about things, because there is a further element which we'll talk about a little bit down the line. But yes, there is all that section and area, and like I said, you guys don't have to take part in that side of the readathon if you don't want to. Like, there is no harm if you just want to come and take part in some of the challenges. Our trials, this is kind of like our scavenger, our main board. This is what everything kind of leads off of from. So this is the main board that you guys will be working from, and I know it looks a little crazy, I realise that, but stick with me. Hopefully it's not too overwhelming. I know to look at it, it is, but fingers crossed we're all okay. But our starting point is the Olympic Games. Now there is 4 different Olympic Games for you to choose. We have a generator wheel, we have a pick a colour board, we have a roller dice board, and we have word searches. So there's 4 word searches available to do. And the best thing about this is you guys aren't limited to just doing it once. Once you work yourself down the board, which obviously we will work ourselves down, you can come back to the top again and do a different game. The perfect thing about this is just a cycle. It's a cycle. You can do as many or as little of them as you would like. And then once you complete one of those games, all the prompts within the games, guys, are tropes. So the wheel, the pick the colour, the roll the dice, and the word searches, they are all tropes. I've tried to spread them out amongst the games to give like different varieties. I've done my best. Once you've completed that game, you've got your prompt, you've read your book that relates to that prompt, the trope. What you will then be doing is that you will take your rating for that book. So whether you rate that book a 5, 4, 3, 2 or a 1 star, that is then going to decide your next route on the path on your journey. If you guys use a points rating, like for example a 4.25 or a 4.75, that will come under the 4-star rating, because you'll see it's the 4 point something. But yeah, so once you take your rating, that will take you down to the next lot of prompts. Now for our 5-star ratings, that will take you down to a same word count title. So this is the book that you've just read. I need to pick up an example. We're going to use this book for an example. This is the first book I could reach. So for example, for same word count title, this is a 2-word count title. You would read another book with a 2-word count title. If you guys rated that book a 4-star, then following down the path, your next prompt would be author quoted on the cover. Now I've had to pick up another book for the example of this one. So for example, our quote up here is from 𝖜𝖊𝖑𝖈𝖔𝖒𝖊, sorry, author of It Makes You Happy. So you would read a quote by that author. If you guys have given that first book a 3-star rating, your first prompt along that path is word used in the title before. So for example, this is Love in Plain Sight, so you could read the next book would have either the words love, plain or sight in it. If you guys have rated that book a 2-star, your first prompt along that path is going to be chapter count to title count. For example, this one is 43 chapters, that is including the epilogue, so you could read a 4-word or a 3-word title. That's probably the best way I can explain that prompt. If you guys rated that first book a 1-star, then your first prompt along that pathway is to reuse the author's initials. So for example, Laura Connolly, so that's LC, to read a book by an author that has the initials LC as well. Once you guys have completed whichever prompt you get to based on your rating, you then come down to your next level. Now to decide what prompt you do after that one is based on whether you would recommend or not recommend the book that you've just read. So for example, you've rated your first book 5 stars, which led you to your same word count title. You read that book. Now the book you just read for your same word count title, do you recommend it? Do you not recommend it? Are you a bit on edge, like maybe I would recommend it to the right person, but otherwise it's not really something I would do? Based on whichever decision you make about that book will decide your next prompt. So after your 5-star first prompt, if you do decide to recommend that book, treat yourselves to a reread. Treat yourself to rereading one of your favourite books. We need a treat every now and then, so hopefully this provides it. So if you maybe possibly recommend the book that you just read for the same word count title, this is some read a buddy read or catch up on like a book club book that maybe you're behind on your book club picks, whether it be your own book club or when you take part in. Like, use this time to catch up on those, and obviously buddy reads, if you're behind on maybe on a buddy read, this is your time to read it as well. If you don't recommend the book that you've just read for the same word count title, read an adaptation. Yes, take those books that maybe have just recently been adapted into TV shows or films, maybe one from ages ago, like as an old film that you'd want to read the book that's been based off of. You guys can even read one that, even if you just know that it's been adapted or is coming into adaptation soon, like it's been announced that it's something that's going to happen, you can count that book, because the TV adaptation or the movie adaptation will be coming, so it does still count. So your first book rated 4 stars, you've come down to also quoted on the cover. Now if you do recommend that book, then you are to read somebody's recommended favourite trope. So you can ask anybody in the Discord. There is channels for each individual prompt on here. So for this one where you've got like a recommended favourite trope, you can go into the recommended favourite trope channel, ask for people's recommendations, like what tropes are their favourite, and then just read a book with that trope. Hopefully that made sense. I'm really struggling to speak. If you maybe recommend the book that you just read for author quoted on the cover, you are to read a book that is someone else's favourite colour. So for example, if you go into that channel and someone says their favourite colour is blue, you'd pick up a book with a blue cover and you would read it. Now when I say blue cover, this can be the whole cover, this could be a spine, this could be the element within it. You're covered by it, okay? I'm not like, you guys have to read a book that's fully blue. No. If you guys have read your author quoted book and you don't recommend it, this is your chance to read a retelling. Now this could be any retelling, like a Disney retelling, this could be like a Greek retelling, this could be like any form of mythological retelling. Like as long as it's a retelling of some form, you guys are covered. So you've read your 3-star first prompt, which is word used in the title before. If you do recommend that book, then you will read a recommended trope. Now this isn't somebody's favourite trope, this is just a trope that's been recommended you to check out. So maybe it's a trope that you haven't even read before and somebody's recommending you to read that trope. So if you guys finish reading your 3-star related prompt, so the word used in the title before, and you might maybe recommend it, your next book is based on title. Now this is going to be one of those difficult ones, so please stick with me. So based on title would be using the title of the book that you just read to describe the next book. So for example, this one is Strange Nature, so to describe the next book you can have a book with like a nature cover or a nature element to it. I feel like this is the best example that I could probably give, but hopefully that does make sense. It's a really hard one to describe. So using the title to describe your next book, whether it be elements within that book or the cover of that book, you might even be able to possibly take this one to describe the next title. It's a difficult workaround one. This one you can definitely do a lot of altering with. It's basically basing your next book on the title of the book before. You guys are going to have a lot of wiggle room with this one. Okay, there will be a lot of wiggle room to work and put it together and stuff, so yeah. But for example, Strange Nature, your next book can have a nature cover or a nature element to the title or within the book. That's the best I'm going to do, and we're going to work and run with it together. If you don't recommend the book that you just used for word in title before, then this is to read a book related title. So this is a title that has any book related word in it. So library, bookshop, just the word book, because you said generally have the word book in it. I'm literally stumped. When I was doing these prompts and like with Catherine and that, so many words were like coming to us. My brain's drawn a blank, but anything like book related word in the title, that's your prompt. I generally am drawing a blank on words. If you have read your 2-star related prompt, which was chapter count to title count, if you do recommend it, then it is a then it is a trope poll pick. So put a poll out with a list of tropes, then you can get people to vote and pick what trope book they want you to read. If you maybe recommend that book, it is to read your least read trope. So the trope that you don't tend to normally lean towards, you don't really pick up that often. This is your chance to read another one, and you never know, that book might be the one to change your thoughts on that trope. You never know. It might happen. You might find the book. If you don't recommend that book, then it is to reuse the author's initials in that trope. Okay, this could be quite a difficult one, and I understand that, but you can tweak and work around it to suit to a trope. So for example, Mary Watson, if that was the book that you read for chapter count to title count, MW, so you could do like a marriage of convenience with a workplace romance if the book has both of those. So you can kind of work it. If you do have difficulties, you can just use one of the initials. So for example, you could just do the marriage of convenience, you could do just the workplace romance. Right, if you've read your 1-star, which is reuse the author's initials for an author, if you do recommend that book, then it's to read a book from your birth year. Now I know, guys, some of us might be feeling a little bit old with this prompt. So I'm a 99 baby, so it would be released in the year of 1999. I do understand that if there is this could be difficult for some people. If you guys are struggling for finding a book released in your year, go to the next year that you can find a book. Okay, so if you were born in the 90s, 1990, you can't find a book that's in that one, go to 91. If you can't find a book, 92. Just keep going until you do find a year. Like, I understand it can be quite difficult, so if you can't find one for your year that you were born, just move on until you can find one. If you would maybe recommend that book, do something we as readers should never do. Judge that book, guys. Judge that book based on its cover. Get all judgy, get all up in it. So this could be a book that you judge based on if you think it's a beautiful book and that you're gonna love it, or maybe you're looking at the cover and going, I don't know about that. We'll see. As long as you're judging the cover, you guys are good. Whatever the opinion is, whether it's good, bad or ugly, just judge. Get that judgment out on the cover. And if you guys don't recommend that book and you're like, stay away from it, read a classic. Read a classic. Now, I also know classics aren't for everybody. I understand that it's not everyone's cup of tea. If you guys do not read a classic, just read like the shortest book that is on your TBR. And then the fun thing is, once you guys have worked down that path, you've read your book for your Olympic game, you've read your book for whatever rating you had, you've then read your book for whether you would recommend it or not, guys, you can go back to the top and you can work your way down again. Because the fun thing is your path is likely to look different all the time. Like, you guys can do that as many times as you want or as little times as you want, like, and everything like that. I am also hoping that I have explained that well. I probably have butchered some of the explanations. Drop a comment and hopefully I can explain it better in typing. There is also a question section in the Discord, so if any questions at any point, pop them in there, let us know. I realise, like I said, that is intimidating, that is a lot. Hopefully I've managed to explain quite a lot of the prompts well, but I do understand that I probably have butchered some of these explanations, and guess what? That's okay. I'm only human. So yeah, so that is your Olympic Games and that is your Olympic trials. So now it's time to talk our Olympic challenges. Now this is where the family element is going to start coming into play, because this is where you guys are going to earn your drachmas to determine who the winning family is by the end of the 2 months of the Olympic trials. So you can earn 1 drachma for every genre you read. Now this is only going to be awarded once, so if you read 5 fantasies, that's only 1 point, and then you can earn 1 point per trope that you read. Again, this can only be read once, so if you read 7 second chance romance, you still only get 1 point. You can earn 1 point for every Olympic game completed, so this is your generate a wheel, your pick a colour, your roll the dice and your word search. Now there is only 4 word searches. I don't know if I mentioned that before, but there's 4 word searches. So yeah, that is where you can earn 1 point. You can also earn 1 point by reading a Greek retelling. So guys, this works in nicely with your retelling prompt. This is your chance to earn some points using it. You guys can earn 2 points when you finish a book / trope that was recommended to you. So those recommended prompts, once you finish those, you can earn 2 points for that. You guys can earn 5 points for every series you finish. Now these series can have been started before the Olympic trials. You guys are not limited to just what you start during the trials. So if you guys are like me and in the middle of like 60+ series, give or take, that you've like started beforehand, if you finish those during the trials, you get those 5 points. You get them and you can earn as many of them as you want. So this is also a really good incentive to help you guys complete and finish series. If, like I said, you are like me and you're in the middle of a lot, this is the perfect incentive to help you finish them. Now you have 2 more ways of earning points, and that is by you can earn 1 drachma for completing your family's quest, which we will talk about in a second. But yeah, and this can only be awarded once per person, but you guys can earn 2 points, again awarded once per person, if you complete another family's quest. So you go in there, you swipe up their quests, if you complete it, you earn those 2 points. I mean, I'm just saying, perfect way to sabotage other families if you can go in there and sweep up their quests to earn some extra points. Now, speaking of the family quests, we have our family quests. So for Zeus, we have read a book with weather in the title. So this could be like rain, lightning, sun, any form of weather related word in the title. That is Zeus's prompt. For Hera, we have read a book with a family on the cover. If you are in Poseidon's family, your quest is to read a book with water on the cover. This can be any form of water. Rain, a lake, the ocean, a storm, river, any form of like water element on there, you're good to go. For Demeter, I'm probably going to butcher saying some of these names, by the way. Just stay with it, girl. Just stay with me, okay? I can guarantee butchering pronunciations throughout this entire readathon. But if you have Demeter, it's read a book where either of the MCs is a chef or a baker or some form of cook. So you guys are in Athena's family, is to read a book where either of the MCs is an artist. So this could be a musician, a painter, a sculptor, a designer, any form of artistic job. If you guys are in Apollo's family, is to read a book that has a musical element. So the MC can be a musician, there could be just an instrument on the cover, because that doesn't necessarily them a musician, it might just be a hobby that they enjoy. So any form of musical element. If you guys are in Artemis's family, which I have taken the quiz, I am an Artemis girly, that is my family, so if you guys are going to come join us, our reading prompt is to read a book with an animal on the cover. Any animal in the world. If you guys are in Aries family, it's to read a book set during a war. Now, this does not have to be like a historical war, this could be a fantasy war, any kind of form of war. Alright, this is where I struggle with pronunciations. Hephaestus, I've so pronounced it. I had it fine the other day, I pronounced it well, and now I can't. You guys can see the list on here, so it's all good. It's all good, you guys can see the list. It is to read a book with fire on the cover. If you guys are struggling to find a book with a fire element on the cover, so whether it be like actual fire, fireplace, like a bonfire-esque kind of thing, like on the cover, if you are struggling with that, you are good to go for like a cover that's like red and orange, like the fire element in that way, because I do realise it could probably be a little bit difficult with that one, so you guys are covered if you choose to do it more of like the colours of a fire. If you guys are in Hermes family, it's to read a book with a travelling element. So this could be a road trip, this could be some time travelling, so anything that kind of involves travelling of any sort. Even if one of the MCs is like a flight attendant or a pilot or something. If you guys are in Hestia's family, it's read a book that has a house on the cover. Now, if it has like something like a cabin, that does also work as well, because you know, sometimes you guys gotta live in a cabin, you gotta escape the world and shut it all out for a little bit. If you guys are in Dionysus family, then it is to read a book with a party scene. We all love a little party. So yeah, if there's a book that has a party scene in it, that covers your prompt as well. And like I said, you guys can swoop in no matter what family you're in to any of the other ones and snick their challenge and earn some extra points. There will be a form that you guys can head over to fill out for earning your drachmas. This can be gone back to at any time, so you guys haven't got to worry about waiting until the end. You can literally finish the book, go to the form, fill out the questions that you need to fill out and like the answers and stuff, and then come back to it again later down the line when you finish another book that earns you some points. We will be monitoring it between myself and Hannah and Catherine. We will be keeping an eye on it and updating and keeping everything regular and stuff, so do not worry, you can go in there as many times as you guys would like. So yeah, I think that just about covers everything. I think I've done a pretty decent-ish job explaining the Olympic trials. I might have missed something, so just pop a question in the comments, guys, because I probably have. I'm not gonna lie to you. You guys have got your Olympic Games, you guys have got your trials, you guys have got your challenges, you guys have got your quests. You guys do not have to take part in the family element if you don't want to. The actual trials and Olympic Games part is in a whole other section in the Discord, so that is open for everybody. The only bits that are locked is the individual family chats for the families and stuff, so that's the only parts that is locked up. Otherwise everything else can be seen and you guys can go for that. Like I said, there is a questions section, so you guys can ask any questions that you may have. Again, because I probably butchered something. Let's be real, for anybody who knows me, you guys know this is just normal, that I can butcher shit. But anybody who's new here, this is normal. I do struggle with my explanations at time. I can't word, it doesn't happen. So please do put your questions down below. The Discord channel is now open, so you guys can head over there, take part in the quiz if you want to take part in the family element. And yeah, I'm so excited. This has been months in the making. Like, I cannot even describe how long I've been working on this challenge and this readathon, and I'm just so excited, and I hope you guys come and take part with us. I hope you guys come and have a good time and join, and I hope you love it. And if it is something you guys love, then we can make it into a little yearly thing. So yeah, I've done it for the 2 months in hopes that it doesn't feel so chaotic. It gives time for reading these books. If we decide it's something that needs a little bit longer, we can make it longer. This one is kind of like a kind of trial one, if that makes sense. Like, we're kind of going to be working out kinks, so that something could go wrong, something may not make sense or work. This is when we're going to kind of try and figure it out and work on them. And like I said, hopefully if people do enjoy it, we can do it again next year, and hopefully those kinks would have been worked out and it could be a bit smoother. But I have high hopes for it. I hope you guys come and join us, come and take part. And yeah, like I said, any comments, any questions, let us know down below, and yes, we will answer them to the best of our abilities. And like I said, if you have any questions about any of the prompts, especially in the trial part, because that's most likely where I've messed up, if that's just, yeah. So yeah, just let us know. But I'm gonna stop rambling because I have started to ramble, and that's normally when things go even more to shit. So yes, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully I will see you guys over on Mount Olympus, and hopefully you guys will come and join us and have a good time. But otherwise, until then, I will catch you guys when I catch ya. So don't forget to keep smiling, be kind, and keep reading. Bye guys.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.